Rabbi Tzadok. Now this was the Rabbi Tzadok, the famous Rabbi Tzadok that he fasted, and on his merit was the base of Mikdash was saved. And Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai had him taken out of Jerusalem, saved. So what did Rabbi Tzadok say? Let's look and see, and then we'll see the explanation. Don't make al taseh atara lidgadol bohen. Don't make the Torah into a crown that you will become honored by them. No, go back to the English. All right. Let's just go back to the text. There we go. Don't. There we go. Don't make the Torah a crown to aggrandize yourself with them. And don't make the Torah into a hatchet, lachfor b'hem, a hatchet or a shovel, whatever, to dig in. We'll see what this means. Himmel used to say, a person who uses the crown of the Torah will soon be gone. You said, we learned, Torah, anyone who gets pleasure, in other words, uses the Torah for his own physical benefit, notel chayav me'olam, he is removing his own life from the world. Not very nice. Let's see what it has to say over here. Here we go. Now, I think you went a little too far. I think that's too far. There we go. Good. A little further up. There it is. Rabbi Tzadok. Very good. Rabbi Tzadok used to say, do not make a divrei Torah, the words of Torah, atera, a crown, to aggrandize yourself, lahasig al yadam kavod, that it will be, glory and greatness. Like it says, shalo yomar, a person shouldn't say, ekra, I will learn Torah. Ekra means I'll learn Torah. Shikra eni chachams, that people will call me a wise man, eshenen, and I'll learn more. Yikrei Rebbe, they'll call me Rebbe. Ashanen, and then I will continue learning the Torah, she'eya zaken ve'eshe b'yeshiva, and I will build an elder person. I will sit in yeshiva. Everyone will give me honor. They'll stand up for me. El lamad me'ava, you should learn the Torah from love. V'sofa kavod lavo, and if people give you honor, they'll give you honor. But that's what you're learning for, to get honor. People want to give you honor. Sometimes honor can be a very good thing. Sometimes it's a very good thing that people, will give you honor. Why? Because people will listen to what you have to say. If you have something to say, and if you don't want it for yourself. But if an honorable person, two people are fighting, an honorable person comes and says, what is this? Let's sit down and talk. Then they'll give you honor. Because of the honor, you have power. You can tell people, to calm down, to sit down. So it gives weight to what you have to say. The problem is you have to know what to say. They have to have the right ideas. But still, sometimes it can be a very valuable thing, honor. If you start to demand it, it can be the most disgusting thing, possibly. I've seen cases where people really got angry because they weren't given the proper honor, or somebody called them by their first name, some rabbi. They didn't call him Rabbi, Grois. They called him, hey, Grois, or they called him, hey, Schmerel, or something like that. Oh, this is the worst thing. Okay, so that's not a nice thing. That's not a good thing to do. But on the other hand, don't belittle kavod. You shouldn't, honor is not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Honor can be a very useful thing. V'lo kardom lachfor bohem, and don't make a shovel to dig. Kalom lishtamash bohem l'shem parnasah, that you use the Torah in order to make a living. Sheha'osa kein moil b'kadoshim. It's like you're misusing holiness of the Torah. What about people who teach the Torah? Malam de tino, because people who teach the Torah, they get the reward because of shimur tenukas bilvad, for babysitting. Shemashamrim otam shelo yazuko, so that they won't be damaged. Abu schar limud asur litol. But it said it's forbidden to take a reward for teaching the Torah. They say that the reward you get is what's called schar batala, is that instead of taking another job, so you're negating your time from learning Torah, from making money, You're learning, so therefore they provide you a living, but not they're providing you a living for teaching the Torah. They're providing you a living because you didn't go and make a living from it. You freed your time for this. Shneimar, like it says, Ro'eh limarti etchem chukim v'mishpatim kasher tzivani Hashem Elokim. Moshe said, look, I am commanding you the laws that God commanded. Moshe Rabbeinu, he taught all the Jews, Ma'ani b'chinam, just like I'm teaching you for no reason. Afatem b'chinam, you should teach also others for free. Right? Moshe went up on Mount Sinai, 40 days, 40 nights. He went up 3 times. Altogether was 120 days and didn't eat and sleep. He did not come down with a bill. You know, saying, okay, you guys, 120 day and night, I take $100 an hour. According to that, this is what Moshe said, I'm just coming to teach you the Torah. I am not interested in getting anything. That's what Hillel used to say. What did Hillel used to say? We'll know as soon as we scroll up a little bit, please. Hillel used to say, we said this before in Aleph, the shtamish betaga chalif, one who uses the crown will soon be gone. The shtamish beketer Torah, one who uses the crown of the Torah, yachlof, he will be removed v'ya'avor mina olam, from the world. Baal Tiferes Yisrael explains like this: Chalaf, what does it mean? Mishtamish beketer, one who uses the Tiferet Yisrael explains that a different explanation. One uses the crown of the Torah, kavar hechlif et shamo. He already changed the name of it. It's not anymore the crown of honor and beauty, but now it is simply, he took the crown and he used it for a shovel or whatever, a hatchet, in order to make money. And that's what he's using it for. Ha lamarta, so we have learned. Hari lamarta mikan, you learn from this. Anyone who gets benefit, physical benefit from the Torah, shishtamish b'hem l'shem kavodo, for his own glory, his own aggrandizement, or his own, his own livelihood. No tel chayev mi'olam, he is removing his life from the world. Kolomar, in other words, michaya olam haba, from which world? From the world to come. World to come. Bekain mafarish Rashi, and this is what Rashi says: mafsid scharo mina olam haba. He loses his reward from the world to come. What's this idea of the world to come? The soul never dies. The soul is eternal. And, what does a soul do after it dies? A person leaves the body. What does it do? It just sort of hangs around in, like a bus stop or something, waiting for the next body to come along and jump in. No, it gets a reward for all of the deeds that it did in this world. If he did deeds in this world that are according to what God wants, so rewards. If he did it, it also depends on how a person wanted to do it. What was his desire? What if a person did bad things? The opposite. He misses out on this. How do we know what is good and what is bad? It says in the Torah. The only problem is not a problem. The only thing is that sometimes a person can do one good deed and it's knocks out all the bad deeds that he's done in his life. And sometimes it can be the opposite. A person can do one bad deed and knock out all the good deeds in your life. So what are you supposed to do? The answer is don't think about it. It's not your problem because it's not going to help you to think about it anyway. God knows what he's doing. God is very kind. He's creating us. He's not creating us just to do experiments on it or something. So God is very kind. That's the message of the Jews. God is very kind. And God will judge in the most kind ways. Meanwhile, do as much good as you can. How do they say? Be good for goodness sake. Do as much good as you can because that's what God wants. And what God wants. But if you do it, this good, you do good. You learn Torah, but you do it for yourself, then what? Then you lose the reward of the world to come. In other words, he goes to heaven. There is his soul floating around up there and says, look at all the Torah that I learned. And they say, yeah, but the problem is that we don't judge you up here exactly like in the world. In the world, you can only judge according to what a person does and he says. Here we can judge according to what you think. And sometimes that's the main thing. So have a good day. Think about what you can do in a positive way and forget about going to heaven. Leave that up to God. I mean, you're here. God put you here for free. So all of a sudden you're making all these what does God owe me? You owe God just the fact that He's creating you. Now you're going to come with a bill, right? Israel, he explains like this. Then in the Torah it's written, the Torah, it says, is your life and the length of days. What does it mean? If you do the Torah and the commandments for the right reason, that you're not thinking about rewards. You're not thinking about yourself. But a person who uses the Torah as a tool, either to aggrandize himself in this world or whatever, or the world to come, so then it takes away the holiness of the Torah. And the whole idea of long life. Sometimes they say, what does it mean, long life? Say of length of days, that every day is longer. Every day is meaningful. The notal mavatal akardom shall bakardom, and therefore he negates with this misuse of the Torah his eternal life. Let's do the next Mishnah. Come. Just start the next Mishnah, because we still have a halacha to do. Who is Rabbi Yossi? Who is this Rabbi Yossi? Rabbi Yossi is this Rabbi Yossi ben Chalafta, Mitzipori. Says Rabbi Yossi used to say like this: anyone who honors the Torah, his body, in other words, his self, his persona, mechubed ala brios, people will give him honor. V'kol ha'machalal es Torah, and anyone who defiles the Torah, gufo mechulal ala brios, then his body will be defiled. It'll be cheap by people. Let's see what this means. These are amazing words of wisdom we have over here. Who is this Rabbi Yossi? Rabbi Yossi is Rabbi Yossi ben Chalafta from Tzipori. He learned Torah from his father, from Chalafta. Mishar Chachmei Yavne, from the other wise men of Yavne, which, if you remember, Yavne was established by Yochanan ben Zakkai immediately after the destruction of the Second Temple. But the main rabbi from Rabbi Yossi ben Chalafta was Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva, it says that 5 sons had Rabbi Yossi bar Chalafta. He had 5 sons. Eshet Achiv Shemet Beli Banim. He took the wife of his brother Yibum. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Hayu lo mi yabamto. I'm sorry. I was so used to Yavna. Mi yabamto. He had 5 sons from his brother's wife. What does that mean? He had a brother that died, and his brother didn't have any children, and that woman is called a yibum, yabama, and he married her. It's an automatic thing. That's called yibum. That the act of marrying her is called yibum. And kulam gedolei Torah, and all of these children were great people in the Torah. We don't do that anymore, by the way. We're great Torah learners. Nowadays, they only do what's called chalitza. She'it pa'er ba'em v'haya omer, and he used to take great pride and say, Natati chamisha arazim, I have planted 5 great cedar trees in Israel. Who are the ones that were known? We're going to see the next Mishnahs. Rabbi Yishmael, the son of Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Eliezer, the son of Rabbi Yossi. Those are the 2 really well-known ones. The pupils of Rabbi Yossi bar Chalafta were Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi, Talmido, Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi. He was the one that eventually wrote the Mishnah, right? Kishaba, it was like 100 years after the destruction of the temple. Kishaba lahakshos al davorov, when he would ask a question on the words of Rabbi Yossi, Hayomer, who said, Anu aluvim, we poor ones, nikshal divrei Rabbi Yossi, we, like the low lifes, we can ask a question, Rabbi Yossi. Kashem sheyesh ben kodesh l'kadashim l'chol, just like the difference between the holy of holies, right? The Aron HaKodesh, the tablets. V'chuli achulim, and who knows what, a rock in the middle of the street. That's the difference between Dorenu Ledor Shel Rabbi Yossi. That's the difference between our generation and the generation of Rabbi Yossi. In other words, they were so great, and the next generation really, dropped down like 5 levels. Talmido Asi ben Yehuda would say about Rabbi Yossi ben Chalafta, Rabbi Yossi nimuko imo. Whatever Rabbi Yossi said, he always had a proof for it. In other words, he would find a source for all the words that he said in halacha, betuv tambadat, and good knowledge, and the tasty way, understandable way. And he hated, who did he hate? Scroll down a little bit. Machlokes, he hated arguments. Upirud deos. Arguments, he didn't mind arguments, but he hated when people could not accept other people's opinions. And he would make a peace between all those who were arguing. Let me just turn on my air conditioner here. Up to now, we've been certainly living with miracles here. We have not, electricity has not stopped. They said it was going to be another 3 hours. Here it is, 1 second. Excuse me. Okay. I'm just arranging the air conditioning. Rabbi Yossi said, Kol mechaber et Torah, anyone who honors the Torah, Shemar zrizus b'asiyas mitzvotav, he is quick, happy to do the commandments of God. He doesn't do it sluggishly and, he drags himself to learn the Torah. But he's happy, he's fast. And he gives great honor to the wise men of the Torah. He appreciates what they're doing. And to the books of the Rebbe had one of the Mivtzoyim, what was it? Was to have a house full of books. Because the great rabbis, we're talking about true rabbis, they put their souls into these books. Gufo mechaber, anyone who honors the rabbis and honors the Torah, then his body is honored by others. Harihu atzmo mechubar, then he will receive honor. In other words, he doesn't think about himself, but he thinks about what is really worthwhile. A person like that is a worthwhile person. But anyone who defiles, devaluates the Torah, shemavazet the Torah, that he scoffs at the Torah, he doesn't work at the Torah, and he scoffs at the people who learn Torah, and he says, what are these books worth that these people write? Have a nice books of philosophy or some novel. He makes fun of the Torah. Is gufa mechalal abrios, then he will be, embarrassed by others. Harihu atzmo mitbazeh al yedei kach be'eni abrios. He will be, looked like very cheap. He makes himself look cheap in the eyes of others. The Rebbe once said about that a Jew that is not loyal to the Torah, that the non-Jews will think that he's not loyal to them. Now, there was one of the reasons, I'm sure you can find fault with this, but one of the reasons that non-Jews don't like Jews is because the Jews don't like themselves. And we had pupils in the yeshiva, I remember, from South Africa, that they said that, the Afrikaans, we're talking about 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, that the Afrikaans are very, very bigoted people. The Afrikaans, these are people from like Holland. They really think that they're, superior in every way to everybody else. And they especially did not like Jews. They did not really like Jews. I guess they disliked the blacks more because they could see who was a black. I guess maybe it was a little bit harder for them to. Anyway, they said that they didn't like the Jews, and but a Jew that was religious they respected. Says they was respected despite the hatred that they had and everything. A Jew that was religious they respected. So he says anyone who honors the Torah is honored by others. Some people say like this, a different explanation. Call him a chabed at the Torah. Anyone who honors the Torah, what does he mean? How does he honor the Torah? That he has a good personality. Benoam Hamidus, he's a pleasant person to be around. Shedavar zehu b'vadai kavod Torah. This is the honor of the Torah. People say, "Oh, he learns the Torah. Look, he acts like. Look at this. He acts like a mensch." Kishalomdim mesulsalim menekim bali midos nichbados. If a person learns the Torah and he is well dressed and he's clean and he has a good personality and he gives honor to others, then he is mechubed, then he's honored by other people, like the Torah says, salsala toromameka. If you are, how do you say, what's a good word for it? If you are beautiful, that because of the Torah, that elevates the Torah. That elevates you and the Torah. Toromameka, it elevates you. Omar, like it says also in the Gemara, Re'item Peloni Shalom Torah. See this person to learn Torah, Kama Naim Masav. How nice are his actions? Kama Metukanim, how he is proper. Ashrei Aviv Shagadlo, happy is his father that has such a son. Ashrei Rabbo, happy is the rabbi that taught such a person like this. But and also the opposite. If a person learns Torah and he screams at people and he thinks he's better than everybody else and he's always demanding that he is right and everything. It says, the Torah. It says anyone who defiles the Torah, then his body will be defiled by others. Shekol misha medaber tov ala tovim v'chachamim. Those people who speak good things about good people and wise people, then you know that person must be good, right? If you're always saying good things about people, it's a sign that you appreciate good. But if you always find bad things in everybody and bad things in the Torah, then you know shu atzmo ra. It must be this is a bad person, and it must be he's a defiled person. That's what King Solomon said. Mitzaref lekesef akor lezav ish lefi mahalalo. Just like how do they call it? A refining pot. There's a word for it. Not a cauldron. Anyway, maybe it is a cauldron. Anyway, like the refining pot that refines silver, and also another refinery that refines gold. Sittable. Is the word like that? Sittable? Yeah, maybe. Anyway. Crucible. That's the word. That's right. Crucible. You got the word. Citadel is a tower. I put it. All right. Crucible. Very good. There's in a book like that. Lefi mashahu mahalel. According to a person, ishlat mehalelo. What does it mean? Again, just like there is a crucible for silver and a crucible for gold, how does that work? You boil up the silver, you boil the gold, and the dregs and the bad stuff either floats up or falls down, whatever it does. So also a person is also refined by the way he praises. Lefi mashu mehalel. What does it mean like this? Kashem she'al yadei mitzaref v'hakur. Just like by means of this crucible that it refines gold and silver, then you can know what type of silver and gold it is. Kama yesh bo kesef v'zav tahor. How much is pure gold and how many sieging, how many dregs and things like that there are in there. The same thing, how can you tell who a person is? According to the words and the character traits that he praises in others. From this, you can see that if he honors a wise people, then he himself is good and wise, praiseworthy. And if he's always finding fault in others, especially in good people, then, and he disgraces the Talmidei Chachamim, the people who learn the Torah, then he himself, we know, is not a good person. He likes to look for bad things. He loves it when he finds them. He's just the top of joy when he reveals them and others. You know, that person is a not good person. Keep away from him. Okay, now let us go to what are we learning now? The laws. Oh, let's see if this works here. 1 second, stop others shooting. Okay, yes, okay, good. I'm stopping your sharing, and here we go. Now we are going to, did I work? Nah. 1 second, let me try this again. Let me try it again. I found the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch,